out of the bag here. Number 8, Moxley.
Yes,
Uh,
it's still Moxley.
so I agree. Mox had a good year. Um, more for his brand than his actual company was the kind of years how I would describe it for Mox.
That's what I would describe it as.
But again, not upset that it was more of a for the brand year for him than the company because the dude's been carrying the company, and now they're finally at a place where they can let somebody else carry it a little bit. So what's he gonna do? He's gonna go into business for himself. He's gonna go out and do other stuff and venture into the other places, which is fine. You know, he's earned that right for carrying AEW for 5 years. So eight is good for him, but it's not good for Gunther to be at 9 and below him. So yeah, the number 8 ranking I don't have a problem with. It's just the person that's right below him for me.
Yeah, it's only in light of the other people on the list that I feel like I understand 8, but I don't necessarily agree with 8.
Just because of who's around him.
And I gotta put it this way because I feel like the Moxley Orange Cassidy match was this year, right? I feel like,
I believe so.
and that was kind of the peak of that. I
Yeah.
feel like of Moxley this year in ring. Um, was probably him and Orange Cassidy when they cemented the importance of that championship.
Mm-hmm.
And that was amazing. But to put it in retrospect, Cassidy's 24. Like for Moxley to solidify a mid card title at the top of his, like, it is a brand thing. Like, he ultimately became more respected for what he is in the company, but
Mm-hmm.
in retrospect, maybe 9 is a little much as far as on paper where the people should be.
Yeah. But
But I guess, yeah, I guess that leads us to 7 as for where your status outside of the business should put you on the list.
yeah. Number 7, MJF. Look, we love MJF, man, and again, we're gonna sound like WWE stands here, but what did he do this year? Besides when the title, as soon as he came back and then dropped it right again, as soon as he won it, right?
Yeah,
That was the extent of his year. He came
yeah.
back like he's been part time, and you got him at 7.
I mean,
For all that, you could have put Logan at 7 if you wanted to put a part timer up there, you know. And I know it sounds really bad. I just compared MJF and Logan, but again, there's people that could have been higher. I don't even think MJF needed to make the top 10 this year.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did because he hasn't been around. Like, I mean, come
No.
on, man. He wasn't around. He just came back. He came back, beat a guy he probably shouldn't have beat for a title he probably didn't need because he kind of just dropped it again to catapult somebody else. Like,
It's a weird spot. It's a weird spot.
if Charlotte did it, she'd be further down the list. And not to compare MJF to Charlotte, but Charlotte is like that for the women's division. When they need a turbo boost to get them through the next couple months, they call Charlotte.
Yes.
That's pretty much what this was. You were out all year, and then you came back to get a bunch of other people over in the span of like 5 matches.
Yeah,
Like,
he was their turbo boost. That's
how does
really
that
all he's
equivalent you to number 7?
I don't know, man. Meltzer privilege.
Doesn't make any sense to me. And like, I don't want to sound like the WWE guy, but I mean, come on. Yeah, come on, man. There's other guys on this list that probably should be higher from AEW I just feel like MJF is getting by on his name. Like
Yeah.
if I was to pick a guy, because I should probably pick a guy, right? I wouldn't pick Joe. Because it's not like Joe held it for so long. Joe played more of a Moxley role, and I'm argumentative about Moxley's spot anyway. So 11, he kind of played the Moxley role. I understand why he would be that high. He was world champion. He carried it, but everybody knew he was carrying it because MJF ultimately let the ball go for the contract status and everything and the
But
injuries, whatever.
he did carry it well.
But he did carry it well. I'll give you. I can't even give you Sami Zayn. I'd probably put Moose in that spot.
Right? Moose had a great year.
Because Moose had a great year. Like people understand, Slammiversary, he forms the group that would then carry NXT. I mean, not NXT, TNA. That would then carry TNA, probably because he's still champ, right? No, Nemeth is champ all the way until Nemeth became champ, and Nemeth just recently became champ. So
yeah, within like the last month.
Yeah, so Moose in the system kind of carried that whole stretch of time. He really ruled TNA with an iron fist for like a good
Couple
I can't
months.
put a timestamp on it, but a good
It's a
run
good
of
couple
months.
months.
A good run of months because it started at Slammiversary.
Yeah.
Into the merger, right? Because it was right after the merger. It was right after they kind of had that new deal, and they either right before or right after they kicked D'Amore out the door. I don't want to say it that way, but
Still
since
confusing.
right after that, right after they redefined themselves and rebranded as TNA, Moose got the ball, and Moose held the ball until they gave it to Nemeth. Moose should probably be higher than 15. I would probably put Moose at that MJF spot because he was there all year and he held the ball all year. Like, where's the credit for the people holding the ball in the company? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to me. It's weird to me.
But speaking of people that were holding the ball for the company, that's a great segue to number 6.
Number 6, Damian Priest of the Judgment Day, formerly of the Judgment Day, World Heavyweight Champion.
Senior Money in the Bank.
Cashed in at WrestleMania.
Cashed in at WrestleMania. I like this spot for Priesty, man. Priesty had himself a great year. Priesty did some great stuff. The cash in was a nice touch at Mania, and then he had a nice little run with the belt. And then he was their how do you describe it? He was their Iron Man for a little bit. He was always competing. He wasn't one of them champions that took a night off or took a week off. He was competing every week in the ring. And putting on quality stuff. And then even now, when he's not the champion, still putting on quality matches. So I think number 6 for him is great.
I think this is where I'm going to sound a little hypocritical. Even though I feel like Gunther should probably be in his spot on the list, Gunther's Damian Priest has done top 10 work this year consistently. And that's kind of been, I think, how he earned this championship, even through Money in the Bank, because the Judgment Day, for less or worse, probably, well, for more or less, probably for more than rather than less. The Judgment Day has kind of been running Raw for the past couple years.
Yeah.
Consistently.
And while
And
Bloodline was running Raw, or while Bloodline was on SmackDown running SmackDown, they were the faction on Raw doing their stuff.
Right? Since Dom getting into the group, to them shaping Dom, Rhea becoming a monster, the JD phase, the R-Truth phase, now the breakup phase,
Carlito,
the Rey Mysterio rematches, Carlito being added, the feud with LWO.
They've done some great things, man.
They've done great things, and Damien's been a workhorse throughout all of those things. So he's earned that spot, and he earned the title, and he showed up every week. He's done that Seth Rollins workhorse. He's that kind of a guy.
Yeah.
So I credit him with that. So he has earned it. I'm not gonna say he hasn't earned it. I'm just saying I think as a character, Gunther would
Yeah,
probably have to be in that spot a little
I
more
know
than
what you
him.
mean.
But you're absolutely right. Credit to Damian Priest. He's done all the work to earn number 6.
Yeah.
People have been asking me to be the best in the world. Why, Eddie? Why?